Hello. The purpose of this video is to explain that in architecture, planning, and construction, change is a constant, and it is always a process, and it doesn't end until the building is finally constructed. So to explain that process, here is a uh, plan, and concentrating on the restroom. I haven't put in any doors yet, but I did modify this stairs so that from the second floor, people go down, starting from this step, going down, turning around, and going out this way up to the space between the parking. Okay. Now looking at the restroom, if you're going to now add a door, that there are um, rules on these doors. They could either open out, and if they open out, the outside distance is 18 inches from that corner. And if we plan to put a door outside here, if we don't have a corner, it doesn't apply to us. And if we open this way, okay, so if we did let's upload my Autolisp door, and if I did a door 36 inches from here, 4 inches from here to here. If I did a door like this would actually block this exit, and because this one acts as a corridor, and you cannot block an exit. I think more than 7 inches projecting the door. The door cannot block a corridor more than 7 inches, and this one is way more than 7 inches. So now you have to do some maybe little studies like this one here. So here's a study that I made. I want to open the door inwards instead of outwards, because if I do outwards, I'm blocking the corridor. So here's the edge of that corridor blocking. I'm swinging it in. And if we go back to our restroom ADA, we can only overlap with the 60-inch minimum turning radius by 12 inches. And if I do that here, um, this is actually more than 12 inches. In fact, I think this is a foot and 6 inches. Okay, so if I do a DIST enter and measure from here to here, I can see it's going to be 1 foot 6 and 3/16. Okay, so I can swing it this way without changing the the door. I mean the configuration of the room. And one way of configuring that one is that I can move this wall outwards as long as I have 44 inches from the edge of this one to that one. That's considered a quarter. So I can move this whole entire wall outwards. And if I move that outwards, then I am providing a smaller overlap with the door, right? Okay. So so I came up with this change again. And if I made this room a little bit bigger, then my overlap here would be only 12 inches, because the turning radius should be just about when you hit the sink and the bowl. So that's a 12-inch overlap. And so whenever you are planning, you might encounter those situations. Um, and you can see here, here's my first floor revision, and then I have another first floor revision here, Rev 2. So I am revising it again. If I click that, then I now have applied my changes. This one is 44 inches. I have opened inwards. I only have a 12-inch overlap. So, and then here's my elevator. I pushed it back to whatever the elevator measurement is supposed to be from TKE elevators. Okay. And so now you have to complete your floor plan, and put in, remember that our requirements for the project have different rooms. The indoor cafe, you split it, not exactly half. You might have even more upstairs, As long as the upstairs cafe and downstairs cafe measures 1,800 square feet, then that means that you're meeting the requirements of the owner. You must have a checkout counter and ordering station that's 250 square feet. Then you got a vestibule for coats and umbrellas, which is just an anteroom or a space, an area where maybe there's a bin for you to put in your umbrellas and a coat rack to put your coat in. There's no check-in counter to leave our coats or umbrellas in this. It's just a vestibule. Make sure you've met the requirements that the owner should have a manager's office that's 200 square feet. And if you want to make it square, square root 200, and that's like 14 feet something. So 14 by 14 something. There's a storage room that is also as big as the manager's room. I think we already got the two restrooms, and it's 50 square feet each. Okay. So if we did 50 square feet and square root that one, right? So 50 and then square root, and you will get square root of 50, and you'll get 7 feet by 7 feet. Okay. So if we do our revised floor plan here, this must at least be 7 by 7. Now, you have to make sure that the requirements as I laid out in these notes over here to help you is going to meet all of these requirements. Okay, there must be 60-inch clearance, and we've done this in a separate video. Okay, so you have to just make sure that you have that correct spacing. All right. Yeah, so change is constant in architecture, and it doesn't stop until the building is constructed. You have your occupancy permit, and your job is done. So you expect that when you finished this floor plan, it will totally look different from the way you first envision it. Okay, so don't be afraid to change. You don't need my permission. You don't need anybody's permission, except that if you talk to the real owner and you're making the building bigger than what he was planning on, then you have to get his permission to make the building bigger. Because if the building is bigger, it will affect his budget, and you have to meet his or their budget. Okay, so make sure you have the floor plans or the rooms that it's laid out in the project requirements when we first started. Okay, electrical closet, maintenance closet, and everything like that. All right. Uh, it will be bigger than 2,800 square feet because of the fact that the owner didn't anticipate any stair to begin with, and we have two as triggered by the occupant. So yeah, our our floor plan will be different than the way we envision it, and it's normal to change things along the way. Okay.